Good evening, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the Bigger Picture webinar for the evening of Sunday, the 2nd of March. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm going to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, yes, I did a post on Friday morning talking about the possibility that we might see a strong rally here, and possibly might see a very strong rally here. And we did see a rally towards the end of the day. We had a 60-minute buy signal here that's now reached the possible near miss target. I've got more of those on the RTH charts, of course, and on the NDX chart, on the NQ chart, we had a 60-minute buy signal fix that hasn't reached the possible near miss target yet, but may well do by the time we reach the open on Monday. Looking at RTY, nice little rally off the low, less exciting. And here we had a little double bottom on the YM chart that hasn't quite made the target. I've got the target there at the new monthly pivot at 44.074. By the way, of course, I have posted all the new weekly and monthly pivots with the it's on the Twitter feed in the main Charting the Market Substack, and also, of course, with this Bigger Picture video post as well. Looking at DAX and the STX, these look like sideways consolidations. I've got a possible falling wedge megaphone that may well be a bull flag on the STX, and we saw some progress on those as well. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay. Yes, we had a nice move up. It wasn't a bullish engulfing or anything, but it was a nice little move up. We didn't have any positive divergence on the daily, but it is a nice little rally. I was talking about the possibility we'd get back into a test of the daily middle band. I've got that now at 6038, so that would still be another 90 odd points away from where we closed, and if we got beyond that, then possibly get back into a retest of the all-time high. Looking at the hourly chart, I was talking about the possible RSI 14 buy signal that's fixed, and we had one of those on the RSI 5 as well, but the RSI 14 one has fixed and is moving towards the target, and is still some way away from it. So I'm thinking this is probably going to follow through on Monday. In terms of a reversal pattern here, we could obviously have a rally, then retest the low and come up. But I've got to say, we've got a really nice looking potential inverted head and shoulders neckline here, and I've got that at about 60.10. So when we get to that level, and I think we probably will get to that level, I'll be watching that because that could a pullback and then a reversal back up could give us an iron chest, which could actually get us back up into a retest of the all-time high. Looking at the 15-minute chart, not a lot to say. We had an RSI 14 buy signal there too, but that's already made target, and we broke convincingly over declining resistance. Not a bad looking little falling wedge here. Which has broken up. I would expect to see more upside, and you can see this possible iron chest neckline I've got marked in almost exactly at 6,010. All right, looking at the Qs. Nice little rally here. Again, we got a possible target at the daily middle band at 525. We didn't have any positive divergence. On the hourly chart, we did have positive divergence, and I was talking about a possible RSI 14 buy signal that's fixed, and that has fixed and still has some way towards the target. I've also got a potential inverted head and shoulder neckline there, and I've got that in the 519 area. You can see that here at 519.66. We are still well short of that, but again, that is something I'll be watching in the event that it looks as though we might go back and retest the high, which is a possibility here. On Dia, we had an RSI 5 buy signal brewing, I think, and that's now fixed. That is a positive sign. We've got the daily middle band at 441.87. In terms of the hourly chart, we've still got a weak RSI 14 buy signal fixed, and we've got we had a little double bottom here, and I'm wondering this could be, yes, here looks much more than it does on YM, but we've got a potential double bottom here which could break up and give us a target back at this declining resistance trend line. This declining resistance trend line, I was saying that this was the most bullish pattern I was seeing on the charts. Get back to that and break up, and that sets up a retest of the all-time high at 449.69. And that, in turn, could set up a nested double top, which could take us down after that. We will see. On the hourly chart, no current divergence. Close-up picture, and you can see we closed Friday basically testing the main double bottom resistance. We will see. But if we break up from that, really, I'd be looking for this target here. A sustained break looks for this resistance trend line, which would be in about the 446.4 area. All right, let's have a look at IWM. IWM on the daily chart, we didn't have any positive divergence, and we didn't see a huge rally actually either. We had an RSI 14 buy signal fixed already, and that has reconfirmed after a lower low. I don't have an obvious reversal pattern, and I'm not expecting to see a retest of the high here, not unless something really lights a fire under IWM. But we could see a decent rally here. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I'm expecting to see at least some continuation to the upside across the board. All right, looking at DAX. DAX, again, I'm wondering about a retest of the high here, and I'm thinking we may well get that. If we do get that, we'll get some nice looking possible daily RSI 14 sell signal brewing here. We've already got an RSI 5 buy signal, sell signal fixed, I think, having said that. Right, okay, yeah, we did. Okay, Nikkei. We saw a strong move down. This has been very, very weak. A lot weaker than I expected it to be. So not a bad time to see a bit of a rally here. We've got a the 3SD lower band was at, hang on, no, sorry, I've got it marked in here, but to be honest, I don't think we're far away. I'm just going to toss that in on here and have a quick look at it. So bear with me. Let's see. Dash stack red. Okay. Yeah. 3SD lower band closed the day at 37,159, and we closed slightly below it. That is unusual, and it's a good time to see a bit of a rally, but the Japanese market is looking pretty weak at the moment. All right, great. Let's have a look at the CL chart. Okay, CL, I've got to say, I've got this nice looking pattern here, and I can see it pretty clearly on the daily as well, and the obvious next target would be a move down to this trendline support, which I've got just below 67. We had a 60-minute buy signal, that main target, didn't do a great deal of damage to the upside, and we've got obvious resistance at the new monthly pivot at 70.73. We've seen again some decent looking upside downside on the NG chart. This still looks at the moment like a bull flag forming, and that would be the obvious read. Looking at that on the bigger picture, on CL. Okay, on CL we've got no current divergence, but looking at the W-tick chart, I'm looking at a trend line here which I've got just over 68, and I'm also looking at a bigger picture declining resistance trend line, and that is almost at 64. Now I've been talking about the possibility of a retest of this low here at 63,557 for months, and actually since we made that last low, it's been almost 2 years. So really, I've been talking about a possible retest of this level for a year, and I think we may well see that. And actually, within this wedge here, that would be really the obvious next target. I'm thinking we might go get that. Certainly, we've not been seeing much sign of strength on the oil chart. Looking at nat gas, we've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed, nothing on the daily. We've got a huge double top here, which is so large, I've not even marked it in. But that actually would have a targeted retest this low here at 1.69. I am not thinking that's likely to happen. Possible, but I think not likely. The bigger picture is we've got a nice looking double bottom that is broken up with a target in the 575 to 625 area. Nice match with the 50% retracement of this move down from 1004 at 577. So, and actually, I'm not seeing anything compelling saying we aren't going to head off to that target. I was talking about a retest of this low, but then I was talking about afterwards breaking up and basically doing this. And I'm still thinking that's the obvious next way forward. Having said that, I could be mistaken. If we do see a hard breakdown, of course, if this double bottom fails, then the obvious target would be a retest of the lows. So we could do that, but at the moment I'd be giving 80-20 in favor of at least some more upside. I'm not taking that double top particularly seriously. But as I said, we will see. Okay, looking at GC. GC, we've got a nice looking double top, which is now broken down with a target in the 2800 area. I think that has a decent shot, although we've got less negative divergence around than we did have. But I'm thinking that we might be about to see a serious, a very significant move up on the dollar chart, and that actually would be a very good time to see some more retracement here. This would also, at 2800, be a decent backtest of broken resistance, and I'm thinking we may well get that. On SI, Is this a head and shoulders? Not a great one, but yes, it is. And that's got a target on a breakdown, basically in the 29.25 area, or more likely in the 29.4 area, because that would be the full retracement of this move up. That would be a disappointing thing to see, but obviously we've got a pattern set up for it, and we might see it. Silver has obviously been an awful lot weaker than gold. HG, we had this head and shoulders breakdown. I've actually just rolled this into May, so I haven't marked it on. But that I think this is morphing into a bull flag. So I am thinking this might be A, B, and maybe get down to 4.4, let's say, for the C wave. We will see. But again, I'm leaning towards seeing some more downside there. We shall see. All right, looking at the gold chart on the bigger picture, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and we've broken down. I think this sell signal is we've lost a couple of sell signals because they've made target on GDX and GDXJ, but I'm still liking this to get down to 2800, and we've got this broken high here at 2846. I'm thinking we're just coming down to that zone, and there's a decent chance that we would hold that. Bigger picture, I would note that obviously daily RSI 5 sell signal, which fixed at the same time, made target. We've got a possible RSI 14 sell signal fix brewing on the weekly, but I'm not thinking that would be fixing on this. And I would note that the weekly middle band is now at 2740 and rising. All right, looking at the silver chart on the bigger picture. I've got this as a pretty nice looking rising wedge with the obvious next target up here in about 38 area. In the short term, I think we may well see some retracement. We've got the monthly middle band at about 27.5. We've got the weekly middle band at about 31.62. And we've got the daily middle band, which we've now broken below and headed down to the lower band here. We've got that in the 32.6 area. But mainly here, I'll be watching the 200 DMA, which I've got at about 30.8. If that holds, then this could hold and then head up straight from there. On the bigger picture, I am looking for that 38 target, but we could see a decent retracement before we see that. It doesn't need to be as strong a retracement as we are seeing currently on the silver hourly chart. I think the gold would be making target a long way before that one did on silver, and it's the gold one I'll mainly be watching. And I am thinking we might see some decent support in the 2800 area. All right, looking at palladium. Palladium has headed back and has retested this low. This was a possibility. Could be the second low of a double bottom here, watching to see how much lower this goes. On platinum, no current divergence, plenty of opportunities to set some up as well. Honestly, I'm wondering about a retest of this low here too. We've got this double top which has broken down. The minimum targets have already been made, but I am wondering about an extension target going down to the 907.4 area. Looking at HG, we've got, I should have an RSI 14 sell signal fixed in here, but I haven't got that marked in. I'll correct that tomorrow, but I'm thinking we may well be forming a flag here, and I've put in the draft flag resistance. On the daily chart here, I've got the RSI 14 sell signal fixed. I've got the RSI 5 sell signal fixed. It's looking nice, and this does very much look like a bull flag for me. On the weekly chart, no current divergence. I'm really liking a bit of retracement here and then some upside. GDX, we had a daily RSI 5 sell signal and a daily RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and we still got the weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed, but the RSI 5 sell signal has made target, and we're hitting some decent support here. Wondering if we might find some support. Pretty much we made this double bottom target, but on the bigger picture, I'm really leaning longer up across the board on metals. We've still got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed on GDXJ as well, but obviously we've made target on the RSI 5 sell signal. We'll see how it goes. But I think we might probably see some more retracement, and then I'd be looking to find some support. But that could change, of course, if we see a strong move up on the dollar, and we might. Let's have a look at the dollar. ZB first. ZB, I'm wondering about a move up into this trendline resistance, which is I've got at about the 119.05 area. No current negative divergence, no obvious short-term pattern set up here, but we'll have a closer look at that on TNX. On DX, we've seen a nice move up. we could have set up a possible, well, we could have set up some RSI divergence here, and we haven't. I'm leaning towards this, heading back up towards this trend line here in the 109.5 area, and on a break over that, heading back up into a retest of 110. Will we get that? Maybe. We will see. Obviously, early days, and we could see a retest of the low before we do that. But I think that's the obvious direction looking at the bigger picture charts. Looking at those bigger picture charts, hang on. Okay, DX. RSI 14 sell signal fixed. We had an RSI 5 buy signal, and that has made target. We'll see how that goes. But I think we've broken back over the daily middle band. If that can be turned into support, then I think the next leg up is looking pretty good. And I like it. Looking at the USD index chart, it's only a weak sell signal fixed here. I think it's much more important whether we recover over the daily middle band, and at the moment that looks promising. Bigger picture, I'm still wondering about a possible retest of this high here at 114.75. I think we go back and retest 110, and then we get an inflection point, and we make the decision as to whether to proceed up to 114.75. On the bigger picture, I'd quite like to see that 114.75 test, but we've got a the obvious pattern, if we went and retested that, would be a double top, which could set up a much larger retracement. If we fail at 110, I'd be leaning towards this being A, B, C. So it would be a very different pattern. We'll see how it goes. All right, looking at TNX. TNX, again, bigger picture, we've still got a target up here at 49.97. Smaller picture. We've gone through this obvious support trend line here. This could be a bullish underthrow, but I'm wondering if we might head down to this trend line here. We've made the head and shoulder target and then some, and we'll see how it goes. Have we topped out and our rates going down? Personally, I don't think so. I would be surprised if that was the case. And I would note that we've now got a possible RSI 14 buy signal fixed brewing and an RSI 5 buy signal fixed. I'm waiting for this basically to find a low, reverse back up, and head up to 49.97. Okay, let's have a look at the euro. Okay, the euro, we've got a nice looking double top, and if that continues down, which it will do if the dollar keeps going up, then this has got a target at about the 102.8 to 102.85 area. We will see. We've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed. We'll see if that delivers any rally. On GBP USD, possible head and shoulders forming again to come down, which would fit with the dollar going up, but I'm wondering about seeing a rally here, a little rally here first before going down further. USD JPY, the pattern here is so large it's very easy to miss on this size chart. But what that chart is this could be this would be a head. Lost on the left here would be a right left shoulder, and this could be a right shoulder. We've got a nice looking little double bottom which is breaking up towards 152, and I'm wondering then if we might reverse back down and start a really serious move down. We will see. Okay, USD CAD, nothing really to say. Australian dollar, nice looking rising wedge. This double bottom may be failing, in which case, and if the dollar goes up, then it will fail. We've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. We've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed on NZ, but again, we've got a double bottom. It's broken up, and it may be failing. We shall see. All right, looking at KC. KC, it isn't as clear whether this is a flag as it was before. It did very much look like a flag, and I'm not so sure about it now. We've got a weak 60-minute buy signal fixed. This could well be bottoming action. Looking at the SB chart, we had a little double top here. I was saying on the, I think last Sunday or maybe Wednesday, but I think last Sunday I was talking about the negative divergence here and how this double top was going to play out, and I think it pretty much made it the next day. We now at the stage where I'm starting to look for a reversal back up, but I have to say there is a case for going down. I've got more to say about this on the RTA. On the bigger picture chart. Looking at CC, I'm still wondering about a bull flag here, but I'm not convinced. It went down a bit low for that. We've still got a 60-minute buy signal fixed, and that hasn't made target yet. This could be a bull flag for me. On CT, we've retested the low, and we've got a possible double bottom here. But if it is a double bottom, it's going to have to turn up soon. We've already gone a little lower than I would like to see it bounce. So we will see how that goes. But at the moment, we've got a nice looking pattern. It's broken up, and this is where we'd be forming a reversal pattern. but at the moment it needs to stop going down if we're going to do that. Looking at ZW, ZW we've seen a strong rejection. We may be heading back into these lows. On corn, the same. On soy, the double bottom is now making progress after a few days of kicking around, and I'm liking the target down here in the 1000 to 1006 area. All right, looking at lumber, I've got much more to say about this on the daily chart today because I've drafted one up. Nothing really particularly obvious on here, but I do have something on the bigger picture charts. Live cattle, possible double bottom here, waiting to see if it actually reverses, and lean hogs. I've got a possible low forming here, 6-minute bicycle fix, but that hasn't made target yet. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts on those. Now, I've done a bit of a change on here actually because, hang on, bear with me a moment. Right, I've been having a bit of a challenge with stock charts lately because it's actually been knocking off a number of the futures charts that I've been doing. Maybe they're de-emphasizing futures, but I actually lost my current month coffee charts, sugar charts, and cocoa charts this weekend. So what I've done is I've actually switched over to continuous charts for these ones, and I've added lumber because we've got a nice continuous chart there, and really we need a bigger picture view to get a view on lumber. So I've switched that, and that is a change this week. So if you're wondering why coffee, sugar, cocoa, and natural gas have all switched over to the continuous charts, then it's because stock charts has actually stopped covering the direct front month future. All right, looking at coffee, we've still got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed. I've got a nice looking overall trend line here, down here at about the 3.67 area, and I'm thinking that may hold. If not, well, we could come down significantly lower. I would say, by historical standards, we are at very high levels, nosebleed levels. On sugar, we've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal that's reached possible near miss target. RSI 5 sell signal made target, of course. Looking at the bigger picture chart here, what is the obvious target? Well, we never got a retest of this low here at 17.52, and I'm wondering whether we're coming back for it. This has been a very steep decline, and we've made that all in 3 days. Damn. It's opening up a retest of this low, and actually it's opening up a retest of this low, which wasn't far below it, and we just missed on the last move down. So I'm thinking we may well be testing that again soon. Cocoa is also at nosebleed levels by historical standards. Both of these highs are at nosebleed levels. Could this be a bull flag forming? It's looking less like one than it was. This initial stage up here looked like one, but it's broken below. We'll see how that goes. Could this be a double top? No, the target would pretty much be zero. Well, not quite zero, about 500 or something. I'm really not expecting that to happen. I see regularly double tops of this size develop, but they never go anywhere. It's unless something actually has a possibility of actually going to zero, then it's not going to happen. Cocoa, I don't feel has that possibility. So, but I am leaning towards seeing some more retracement here. We've had an opportunity to get positive divergence. We haven't taken it. Chances are it's going to come down some more. Now, wheat. We've seen strong moves down. What's the obvious target? Retest the low, 537.60 at this stage. Not that far away from that. Looking at corn, not expecting to see a retest the low here, but I would note that we've got a decent looking head and shoulders, double top that is broken down with a target in the 448 to 460 area. And at the moment, I'm not seeing anything compelling saying we aren't going to make that target. We had an RSI 14 sell signal target that's now reached the possible near miss target. Looking at soy, again, we've got this double top here, and it's looking like that will make target 2. Not saying it goes any lower, but obviously if it does do that, then we could be looking at a move lower into a retest of this low. Looking at cotton, we've got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed, and that's one reason I was looking for a low here, and I'm still quite liking it, but it's looking less appealing day by day. On lumber, I had a close look at this, and actually I've got a trend line here I quite like. Let's see if we make it. If we do, we haven't quite made it yet. I'd be looking for a move up into about the 645 area, and if we get that and we find resistance there, then we could well be turning back down into a significant downtrend into a retest of this support. We will see. Could this be an overall double top here? Yes. Is it? Possibly. But not particularly compelling, so we'll see. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. I'll have everything posted as soon as possible, and I'll catch you guys at the for the open tomorrow morning, and obviously on Wednesday.